Hello students, welcome to mathematics class. Students, this is part 10 of the chapter comparing quantities. In this part 10, we will do revision of applications of compound interest formula, and later we will go for solving some questions of the exercise 8.3. This part you will be watching on 9th January 2021. Now coming to the applications of compound interest formula. Students, here in the application of compound interest formula, there are some situations where we could use the formula for calculation of the amount in CI. Coming to the general life situations such as increase or decrease in population. Normally, increase or decrease in population takes place in compounded annually, in compounded form. Then growth of bacteria, if the rate of growth is known. Again, this is also takes place in compounded form. And another one more life example where we have compound form of increment or decrement is appreciation and depreciation of any item. So the value of an item appreciates, increases in compounded form, or even depreciate, and that is decreases in compounded form in the intermediate years. For example, you might have heard when you purchase a land, or when someone purchases land, they look for profits, and the appreciation of land price normally will be in compound form. Even the depreciation of any goods that we normally use, for example, a purchased car will have depreciation every year. So that rate of depreciation and that compounded rate of depreciation it would be. Now let us solve some questions based on these applications. First, we are solving example number 14. In this example number 14, the population of city was 20,000 in the year 1997. It is increased at the rate of 5% per annum. Find the population at the end of the year 2000. If you watch here, there are 3 years passed from 1997 to 2000. So here at the rate of 5% per annum, normally increment takes place in compounded way. Therefore, we can find by multiplying 20,000 with the 1 plus 5% by 100 raised to the power 3. That is, I am using the formula for finding amount in the compounded annually. That is, A equals to P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to the power n, where R tells about rate of interest for the conversion period, n tells about the number of conversion periods in the time period. So if you solve this, you know how to solve this. 20,000 into here, if I cancel, it becomes 1 by 20. So 21 by 20 multiplied by itself 3 times. So on simplification here, these 3 cancels for 3 times these zeros, these 3 zeros and 3 zeros, and left over we will have calculation of this 2 tens, and so 10 into 21 multiplied by itself 3 times upon 4, where we have 9,000 261 upon 4 into 10, and when I divide 9261 by 4, you will get 4 2s and 1 carry, 4 3s, 4 1s and 2 carries here, 4 5s 20 and 1 carry. So that goes to decimal place, 10, 4 2s 8, and that 5, 2 will be left over, and that 20 gives you 5. So 10 into 2315.25, and it is 23,152.5. that means population cannot be in points, therefore approximately 23,153 will be the population. In the year 2000. So this is how we use the formula of compound interest. Then coming to the example number 15, a TV was bought at a price of 21,000. After 1 year, the value of the TV was depreciated by 5%. What is the meaning of depreciation? Depreciation means reduction of the value due to use and age of the item. Find the value of TV after 1 year. Here again I am using the formula A equals to P into 1. Rather adding, I am subtracting, that is 1 minus R upon 100 raised to the power n. Since depreciation is the reduction from the previous value, reduction in the previous value. So students, here we will find the depreciation by substituting P with 21,000, 1 minus, where depreciation rate is 5%, so 5 over 100 by n. Here n is for 1 year, so 1 I have substituted, so 21,000 into, after cancellation and all, it gives you 19 by 20, 0 cancels. So the product of 2,100 by 19 by 2, it is 39,900 by 2, which is 19,950. We will write conclusion. Therefore, the depreciated value of the TV after 1 year is rupees 19,950. So this is how we solve this question. Now coming to the further, here I have got try these questions. Amongst these, First question, a machinery of worth 10,500 depreciated by 5%, find its value after 1 year. So, you have to use the formula of P into 1 minus R percentage by 100 raised to the power n to find the depreciated value. And in the second one, find the population of a city after 2 years, which is at present 12 lakh if the rate of increase is 4%. So, here you have to use the formula of P into 1 plus, because it is increasing, it is appreciated, increase percentage, and here depreciated percentage. That is the difference which you have to watch. If it is increased percentage, we will add. So, 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n to be used here to find. You know how to solve this, I am giving as a homework for you. Now, moving further to the exercise 8.3. In the exercise 8.3, question number 1 contains 5 sub questions, that is A, B, C, D and E. In that, I am going to teach you A and B. In this, I will teach B, and in C, D, E, I will teach any one. The other you have to solve on your own. Coming to the question number 1 and sub question B. Calculate the amount and compound interest on 18,000 for 2.5 years at 10% per annum compounded annually. See children, here compounded annually means I have got fraction part of the time period, that means 2 years as a whole and half. So, this half year is a fraction. So, when we have got such compounded annually and this fraction part of the years as time period, then we will find amount by the end of 2 years. How that 2 years has come? Because of the whole. By the end of 2 years, we will find where compounded annually, we will use compounded annually. That means formula we will use the same, A into P plus, sorry, A equals to P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to the power n, where P becomes 18,000 and 1 plus rate of interest is 10 by 100, power is 2. That 2 years I have taken. N becomes 2 and R remains as it is 10% per annum, and P value is already known to you. So, if you solve this, 18,000 multiplied by, so 10 by 100 is nothing but 1 by 10. So, 1 plus 1 by 10 is 11 by 10. 11 by 10 whole square is nothing but 11 by 10 multiplied by itself for twice. So, these two zeros will cancel these two zeros. Now, you will multiply 180 by this 11 into 11, that is 121. It gives, by the end of 2 years, you will have 21,780 rupees as the amount. Now, for this I will calculate simple interest. Simple interest for the next 2 months, sorry, for the next half year, will be calculated on the 21,780 with the same formula PTR by 100. So, 21,780 into time is half that half 2 will come down in the denominator, rate is 10%. So this 0 will cancel, and now this 0 will cancel with this, and 2178 by 2 is 1089 rupees is the simple interest. Now therefore amount by the end of 2.5 years will be 21,780 added to this 1089, which gives you 22,869 rupees is that amount. So here answer is, amount is 22,869 rupees, and compound interest is amount minus principal, that is 22,869 minus 18,000 gives you 4,869 being the compound interest. So this is the answer. Then coming to the next question, in the question number 1, sub questions C, D and E. Here compounded half yearly, compounded half yearly, compounded half yearly. Out of these I will take the first C only, where we have got 1.5 year at 8% per annum, compounded half yearly. So in this, principal is 62,500, time period is 1.5 year, and rate of interest is 8% per annum, compounded half yearly. That means therefore n becomes 3. Why? Because in this 1.5 year, half years are 3 in number, and rate of interest will be 4% for 6 months, or for half year. For that half year, 4%. How? 8 for 12 months, for 6 months 8 by 2, 4. For 1 year is 8, for half year, half of that 8, 4%. Now we can substitute in the formula, A equals to P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n. These values, 62,500 multiplied by 1 plus 4 upon 100 raised to the power 3. Now 62,500 into, you can simplify either this way, like you have got here 104 by 100 whole cube. So on simplification, if you do, you will get amount as 70,304 rupees. This is amount, and whereas compound interest will be the difference between amount and principal. If you subtract 62,500 from 70,304, you will get 7,804 rupees being compound interest. So this is how these problems to be solved. Now let us go for question number 2. In question number 2, Kamala borrowed 26,400 from a bank to buy a scooter at rate of 15% per annum, were compounded yearly. What amount will she pay at the end of 2 years and 4 months? Same here, we have got whole part 2 years and fraction part 4 months. 4 months nothing but 4 by 12, that means 1 by 3, So it's 1/3 year. Now I will find amount by the end of 2 years using the formula compound interest one, since it is compounded annually. So it becomes A equals to P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to the power n formula I have used. 26,400 multiplied by 1 plus 15% by 100 raised to the power 2. Now on simplification, if you find, you will get the 23 somewhere 34,914 rupees you will get amount by the end of 2 years. Now you will find simple interest to be calculated. For the next 4 months, considering principal as 34,914 rupees. Now we will calculate SI 34,914 rupees into 1 upon that 100 PTR by 100 will come. T is 1/3 year and rate of interest is 15 only. So 3 1s are 3 5s are will go, and here 5 20s are, and after simplification you will get simple interest as 1745 rupees 70 paise. Now amount by the end of 2 years 4 months will be 34,914 added to 1745 rupees 70 paise. Put together it becomes 36,659 rupees 70 paise will be the amount totally has to pay after 2 years 4 months. So this is how we calculate. Now coming to the here question number 3rd. In question number 3rd, Fabina borrows 12,500 at 12% per annum for 3 years at simple interest, and Radha borrows same amount for the same time period but at 10% per annum compounded annually. That means here I have Fabina case separately and Radha case separately, where Fabina is at simple interest and Radha is taking at compound interest. Now in the case of Fabina, amount is principal into 1 plus T into R by 100. We know formula in the case of simple interest to find amount. So 12,500 multiplied by 1 plus time is 3 years, rate of interest is 12% by 100. So on simplification, 12,500 multiplied by 1 plus 3 into 12 is 36. 36 by 100 gives you 136 by 100. On simplification, you will get here the simple interest added to principal. Straight away I am finding amount is here In the case of FAB, 17,000 is the amount. Therefore, simple interest will be the difference between 17,000 and 12,500, which is 4,500 is the simple interest. In the case of compound interest, amount equals to P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n. Here compounded annually, so principal 12,500 is multiplied by 1 plus rate of interest is 10%, so 10 by 100 raised to the power, time is 3 years, compounded annually be x, 3 becomes n. So on simplification, 12,500 into here 11 by 10 multiplied by itself 3 times because cube, so 11 by 10. Now on simplification, this you will get as 16,637 rupees 50 paise. Now you know here compound interest is the difference between amount and principal, that gives you 4,137 rupees 50 paise. Now watch, is compound interest is more or simple interest is more? Obviously here simple interest is more. Therefore we say Fabina pays more by rupees, the difference between this 4,500 and 4,137.50 paise, which comes to 362 rupees 50 paise. So children, here I'll stop this session with this question. So in our next class we'll continue from the fourth question of the exercise 8.3. So till then, take care of yourself. Jai Hind. Thank you.